One time, tell me this how you feel. You living it, give it to you, feel ready, come on. Every time you close the door, I'm giving it to you, making you feel fine. Tell me, let me believe it don't shine. Make your body wild, baby. The pleasure is all mine. To my people, I'm making the dance floor. Let me step into you, and I feel how you do it. People just wanna knock you busy because you know that you always get your off. What you say? They wanna know why you feeling the fall. Like don't you worry, cause you'll be right in the floor. Oh, because I always put you on. You go to spot at the very second I come. Now that you tired, I hope your body be moving. I'm keeping you moving. That's what we're doing, and you know where it's scream my hot shit, burning, you're making your way around, baby, come on. Give me the shit that make you take a while. I can look at the shit that hit you right in the liver. Sound skin that we never leaving you hanging. I'm always doing my thing and my music always be ready, so check it. We be moving, moving the crowd. I'm feeling that make you wanna go play your line. What up, man? We come and hit you. That's the beat, you really gon' get killed. Whatever you want to call. I'm baby for what you want, here we go. Taking the picture, we got the hot in the winter. Now, hanging my people, you know what we switch your leg on. We know when they're taking over the planet. Full blast, see them with fucking wild again. Ain't no way it's gonna scream my I wanna know what my life, what in the sky. We gonna make you body real fast. We gonna make your body say yeah. Real high, to see you won't put them up in the sky. Come on, look at my niggas to say, oh, what up? And making you women to say, baby, come on. Looking into you with many ways. We making and taking you people like you another phase. Come on, we riding the baby, then I be dropping the baby, then we gon' stopping the baby, and I be stopping the baby, and we giving the greatest of all time. No matter what you do, baby, we gon' shine. And you know where it's going. Scream my
What's going on, Conscious crew? Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. It is your favorite breakdown commentator, CT motherfucking B. Okay. Girl, it's a lot going on in the motherfucking world, bro. The motherfucking side things, okay? You guys already know what the hell we're here to get into. So before we even get into the thick of it, please give me a old nasty piece of thumbs up, girl. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. This video, do not play me on the motherfucking thumbs up, okay? The thumbing up helps with free for promotion out here in these goddamn algorithm streets, honey, okay? Thumbing up translates to YouTube, girl, that the video is desirable, and then YouTube does their goddamn job and start their free for promotion by recommending and suggesting the channel, girl, to everybody else who ain't subscribed to the king out here on these streets, okay? Also, if you're new here, definitely go ahead and subscribe, because if I like it, you're going to absolutely love it, okay? Also, you need to make sure that your notification bell is set to all, because you never know what day or hour the king shall be kinging. And if you don't mind taking it just one step further, please share the stream out wherever it is you have digital media at. With no further ado, let's push the fuck on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, Conscious crew members? I think my damn nose ring is shifting, girl. Hold on, let me make sure he in there. Okay, what's going on, you guys? Glad to be with you all. So first and foremost, let me shout out my contributors, girl. Y'all already throwing bands on the king, girl, and we ain't even got started yet. But shout out, of course, to my baby mother, FB, who is a regular contributor, girl. Thank you for blessing the king, boo. Thank you to Miss Washington, who also is a regular contributor to the platform. Thank you, darling, for y'all cash donations. You guys know that all donation information is always scrolling right here at the bottom of the screen, and it's always in the description box, along with my Patreon information and my email, etc. Okay, so we got quite a bit to get into, girl. This might be a very long night, because there are probably 3 sets of commentaries that I want to give, okay? Obviously, we're here to talk about Orlando Brown, girl, and he's back on crack. Is it crack, girl? Is it crystal meth, girl? Or is Orlando Brown just feeling real honest and authentic, girl? We're going to figure it all out. Okay, I also want to get into some Kevin Gates commentary, girl. I want to get into some Laura London commentary, girl. So all of that may happen in before the night's out, girl, in separate commentaries. Okay, so just keep your notification bell set to all. Also, Reckless Logic, you guys know, one of my very dear friends and one of my favorite co-hosts. He's going to be talking to you guys. Reckless Logic has been going through something very, very, very deep, very soul penetrating. I'm gonna let him come and talk to you guys. He actually was supposed to be joining me right now. I have no idea what the fuck he is. I've called him twice. I was supposed to hear back from him at 6. I haven't. So I'm hoping that everything is okay, child. But you guys are gonna be shook when you hear what Reckless has to say, and I'm gonna let him do the saying. I know a lot of y'all have been asking me, is Reckless okay? Reckless okay? Some of you guys who have a third eye, y'all are very observant. Y'all actually notice when people maybe not being themselves, or y'all catch on to certain innuendos and in between. You're very nuanced and witchcrafty in your observations, girl. And y'all been asking me, is Reckless okay? I've been telling y'all that he is, you know, but y'all have been correct, for those of you who have been feeling like something something is going on. Something has been going on, and you won't even be able to imagine what has been going on. It has been going on for the past month or two. So we'll be talking about that in a separate video. Hopefully I hear from him before the night is out, so we can come and talk to you guys. Yeah, so send him light and love, and send me some damn light and love too, girl, because it's a lot. It's a lot going on in the world. Is that it for church announcements? I'm trying to think. Also, if there's anybody who's really good with intros, I'm looking for a new intro. I'm looking for something real ghetto, something real crunk, something real ignorant, honey, something real city girls, something real Megan Thee Stallion. You know, I want to shoot some original footage for it, and then just get somebody to compile that together. You know, something super lit, because I like my current intro, but it's a little bit too mellow for me. I need something a bit more energetic, something that gets the fucking party started. So if any of you who are really good at making intros, I just need something that maybe is about 30, 40 seconds long. I may also need some, maybe like some commercials, things that have like my social media tagged in it, etc. Things that I could play during like an intermission, etc. If you're good with any of that type of work, please email me at Consciouztv@gmail.com so we can have a business discussion, girl. Okay. Also, let me think. Let me slow down. I believe that's it so far. Yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting a lot, but I probably am. Nonetheless, if you come back to me, I'll be getting back to you all. So let me speak to everybody coming into the sanctuary. What's going on, Kiwana? What's going on, Brown Sugar? Hey, Ice Latte. Hey, Nurse Coco. What's going on, Miss T Pre, who says, I was waiting for you to talk about this, girl. I'm going to be dropping the link and letting y'all talk about it as well. Yeah. What's going on, Sonya? Hey, Humble Pie. Hey, Styles by Stevie. Hey, Boo. Hi, CTV. The title has me flying. Y'all know how I do with the thumbnails of the title, baby. What's going on, Ebony? Hey, love. What's going on, Giselle? Hey, Jessica. What's going on, Lynn? Hey, Moesha, who says, just the person I wanted to hear commentary on the subject from. I got to hear this, okay? What's going on, Lynn? Hey, Raven. Is it that so? Is it Raven Simone? Oh, it's Raven Jones. Good evening, darling. What's going on, LB? What's going on, Ray Manning? Hey, boo. Our residential 18-wheeler girl, she be cross-country and girl, okay? She be traveling with the gasoline and the ice and the sweet potato pies and shit, girl, you know, keeping out grocery stores. Phil, I done told Romanin, she depart that damn 18-wheeler right in front of my house, girl, especially if you got some damn turkey, some ham, some stofas, frozen dinners, honey, whoever you carrying for a child, just stop by the king's house and let him get first dibs. We'll keep it as our little secret, okay? What's going on, Doisha? I probably fucked your name up, darling. What's going on, the overreactress, okay? Bow Wow got good. What? I thought Bow Wow was a cis dude. Well, you know, cis is gender. Orientation is orientation. What's going on, Jay? For the same reason why you never see Bow Wow and Lil Mama in this. You know what, y'all need to cut it out. What's going on, Lisa? Hey, Jordana and the missus. What's going on, Plain Jane? What's going on, American Den, who says he needs a reality show, Zeus, period, baby. Let me tell you something. They couldn't put Orlando on. He would have to do some type of an internet-related media, because they couldn't have put this nigga on mainstream television, baby. It'd be too many cease and desist and lawsuits going out to the damn network, baby. Miss Orlando have been a slander every damn body in the industry, honey. Okay, we're gonna get into all of his controversy, his interview with Tasha K, some of his recent remarks, girl. The kid's trying to figure out, is he boiling aspirins in the kitchen, child? Is he snorting school Elmer's glue and shit, child? You know, like what's responsible, okay, for some of this outrageousness? What's going on, LB? Okay, so it's a lot of y'all in here, child. I ain't gonna be able to get to everybody, girl, but all 157 of y'all need to be hitting the thumbs up video. So, hold on, all of my beautiful moms, welcome to the platform, darling. What's going on, D-Rock? Hold on, y'all. Thumbs up this video, chill. Thumbs up. up this video. Hey, Ray, what's going on? Boo, hey, Bed-Stuy. What's going on, Angel Stewart? You know, they brothers, child. So you know Omarion and Orion gonna look alike. Oh, nasty set of twins, chill. Okay. Well, thank you so much, T-Free. Thank you so much, babes. God bless T-Free. You guys make sure to subscribe to the T Lounge. Let me find her. Thank you so much, love. Let me find T-Free's comments so I can show. So y'all can go over and subscribe, child. T-Free is also an old nasty piece of content creator out here. Girl got an old nasty piece of podcast on Spotify called Shouting to the Void. Honey, Miss T-Free, girl. Make sure that you guys type in T-Free over on YouTube or type in let me see what it is. Is it it's something lounge, child. All these content creators, girl, I can't keep up with every damn body, girl. All these content creators out here on these streets, girl. I want to say the T Lounge, but it ain't the T Lounge. That's my other girl. What's doing? How doing? Y'all make sure to subscribe over to the Black Lounge. I know it was something lounge. Black Lounge Divine, okay? Over on YouTube, you guys. Black Lounge Divine, okay? She does exactly what I do, girl. She get into Miss Tyro. She report on Young Pharaoh, honey. She gets into pop culture commentary, spirituality, sector news, okay? There's nothing that she doesn't do, honey. This is an all-purpose content creator. So make sure you all shout out and go over and subscribe and check her out, okay? Now we're gonna be traveling, girl. We're gonna be traveling in this motherfucking commentary, y'all. Okay. As I stated before, okay, Orlando Brown has been making claims for years now, ranging from everything from allegedly having a sexual relationship to his former co-star Raven Symone to Bad Boy star, get into this, Will Smith allegedly sensually assaulting him as a child, and also claimed that Michael Jackson helped to set it up, girl, okay, to now claiming that the rapper Bow Weezy has that good wop, okay? He also recently sat down with YouTuber Tasha K, okay? Shout out to UnWineWithTashaK, okay? Y'all know that that's the residential baby mother, okay? And he spoke to her about the Illuminati, baby, and also spoke to her about Raven Symone. Matter of fact, he went a step further, girl. He claimed that Raven Symone was right in the room with them, girl. So we gonna get into it, okay? Let me check out this damn big ass spike bracelet because it's gonna be hitting this table. Y'all gonna be hearing all that in the situation, girl. So let's go ahead and just start referring to some old nasty articles, girl. Let's get into the girl. Hold on, wait a minute. Should we take it? Should we start from the Bow Wow and put a reverse card, or should we work our way up to current controversy? Which way y'all want it? Y'all want it from the front to the back or from the back to the front? Let me know. Girl, right. It might be, baby. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, in conclusion, and I'm gonna drop the link and let y'all come up here, girl. So do y'all want it from the front to the back? Do y'all want it from the now, then we hit the reverse, or do y'all want it from the beginning all the way up? Okay, it might make sense to go from the origin, from the front to the back. Okay, so y'all want to start with the current controversy and work y'all way backwards. Is what y'all saying. Sideways. You know what, Jenny? Missionary. You know, I don't know why the hell I asked this crowd. I don't know why the hell I asked this motherfucking crowd that. You know what? Big Daddy gonna make the goddamn executive decision here, okay? I'm just gonna let y'all be down there with your ideas to freak yourselves, girl. Let's start from current controversy, I guess, child, and just work our way back, and then we'll round it all up, girl. Okay? Hold on, girl. Actually, no. It's actually gonna make sense to work our way from back to front. So let's go back to the beginning, girl. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to the beginning and build us up, because it'll make sense coming from back to front. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, that is not the article that I am looking for. Wow, that's not her. Okay, that's coming later. That's the front. Hold on, girl. And thumbs up this video, bruh. as you guys come on into the sanctuary. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start from the origins, honey, of Miss Orlando. Okay, now this is courtesy of LatinTimes.com, and this is 5 things that you didn't know that you will now know about Mr. Orlando Brown. Okay. Okay, actually, girl. Sometimes I hate reading these damn sites, girl, because these ads be out of damn control, girl. All this damn shit they allow folks to put up here so that they can pay the bills every month. I mean, I appreciate it, but god damn. Hold on. Hold on, just I can exit out of this mother lover. Hold on to your love. I can't, she gonna have to say. Okay, so this is from Latin Times, girl, and it reads, is Orlando Brown gay? 5 facts about the former Disney star that you did not know, okay? Or may not have known. Orlando Brown, who rose to fame following his acting role in the popular Disney Channel show That's So Raven, took Twitter by storm when he posted a shocking video of himself coming out of the closet and exposing TV personality Nick Cannon as his gay lover. Girl, we're going to get into that as well. Quick as a wink, both Brown and Cannon found themselves trending on social media and becoming the talk of the town. But who really is Orlando Brown? And is he really gay? Here are 5 facts about the former Disney star you need to know. Number 1, That's So Raven was his biggest break. Although Brown appeared in several projects like Family Matters, Major Payne, Two of a Kind, Wayne Head, and Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, he was most notable for his role as Eddie Thomas in Disney's highly popular sitcom That's So Raven, which I never found entertaining. I tried to get into Miss That's So Raven, girl, because, you know, everybody seems to love it just like they love what the other shit was. The Charm. Is it Charm? Like with the witches or the mayonnaise witches, girl. All that shit was dry and boring as hell to me. It just didn't latch on to my mental algorithm. But that's here nor there. Number 2, he's also into music. Brown is not only a talented actor, but a singer and songwriter as well. Previously, he made songs with popular artists like Akon, Sean Kingston, T-Pain, Pimp C, Raven Symone, Raven Justice, and Trav Star. He also successfully released his own studio album titled Trade It All and performed part of That So Raven theme song. Number 3, he's been suffering from cocaine and meth addiction. Over the years, Brown's addiction has taken its toll on his mental health. In a controversial video that surfaced in 2018, the actor was shown walking around barefoot with a box of wine in his hands while a man was following him with his camera. That time he had just gone out of rehab, but his stint lasted for only a week. The same year he appeared on an episode of Dr. Phil and outrageously claimed that he was the son of the late Michael Jackson. That's what that crystal meth, baby, would do to your goddamn frontal lobe, baby, okay? It'll have you thinking that you are the first of cans to the goddamn Jackson 5. Number 4, he had several run-ins with the police. In 2016, Brown was arrested and charged with domestic battery, obstruction of justice, drug possession with the intent to sell, and possession of contraband following a public altercation with his then girlfriend. In several other occasions, he was also charged with resisting arrest after being caught using crystal meth. Number 5, he claims to be gay despite having lots of girlfriends. On Wednesday, Brown posted a video making explosive claims against Nick Cannon, whom he referred to as his gay lover. He even gave graphic details about their relationship, saying, "Okay, look fine. Do you want me to tell everybody? Okay, fine, Nick. I let you suck my dick, and I liked it." Cannon immediately denied and downplayed his claims as mere proof of Brown's mental illness, considering how they both grew up in Hollywood as child actors. However, it's conceivable that at some point they hooked up. Woo, child. Okay, so let's actually get into those damn claims, y'all, okay? We just got to do some traveling, girl. Got to do some traveling, chill, okay? let's get into these claims about Miss Nick, honey. Okay, Mariah Carey's ex-husband, baby daddy, girl. Okay, the baby daddy, you goddamn 16 baby damn mamas. Okay, Mr. Beat 'em up and skeet 'em up. Okay, thumbs up this video if you are in the motherfucking if you are in the motherfucking stream, child. Thumbs up, bruh. Okay, now this here is an article courtesy of hiphopdx.com. Okay, and she about to get into the tea. Hold on. Let me exit out one thing, get into another. And once again, this is courtesy of hiphopdx.com. And it says, Orlando Brown claims that he let Nick Cannon give him oral sex and he liked it, okay? Whether Orlando Brown is trolling remains to be seen, but according to a recent Instagram live video, the actor-singer claims that he let actor and comedian Nick Cannon give him oral sex. Quote, you want me to tell everybody and let everybody know that? Fine, Nick. I let you suck my dick, he says in the clip. Okay, fine. I said it. I let Nick suck my dick and I liked it. It was okay. It was fine. Nick, you sucked my dick, but everybody knows you did it as a female, but Nick, you sucked my dick. My God. Quote, I don't want to say that. Nick been sucking dick. Then he laughs. Nick, you know you've been sucking dick. You don't want me on Wild and Out. Nick been sucking dick. Everybody in the world gonna be like, quote, Nick been sucking dick. Girl, what? I'm gonna let y'all listen for your damn self, girl. This is courtesy of the goddamn Shade Room. Let's listen to this, I guess, since then deleted Instagram video. Turn up your goddamn volumes to the highest of the maximum, girl.
Oh, don't worry about Nick. Nick, okay, look, fine. Fine, okay?
Oop, hold on.
Oh, don't worry about Nick. Nick, okay, look, fine. Fine, okay? You want me to tell everybody? You want me to let everybody know that? Okay, fine. Nick, I let you suck my dick. Okay? Fine, I said. I let Nick suck my dick. And I liked it. It was okay. Fine. Nick, you sucked my dick. But everybody knows you did it as a female. But Nick, you sucked my dick. I don't want to say that. You know? Nick been sucking dick. Nick, you know you been sucking dick. Mush mouth motherfucker. You don't want me on Wild enough. Nick been sucking dick. Nick been, everybody in the world gonna be like, Nick been sucking dick. Nick been sucking.
Girl, is it the crack, honey? Is it the cocaine, girl? Is it the methamphetamines, baby? Is it aspirin colliding with Hennessy, wrapped up in damn some low vibrating ass cannabis, bitch? What combination of goddamn chemicals got to come together, girl? Okay, to make you tell the entire world that another man is sucking your dick while you in Dollar General, girl, surfing for damn fabric Febreze and shit. I don't motherfucking know. But what I do know is that it's mighty goddamn interesting that Miss Nick Cannon has been on a goddamn baby making mission, girl. Is he trying to prove his masculinity, girl? Okay, by pumping out all these children, girl, and impregnated all these women's, honey. Okay, is there something that Nick Cannon is dealing with, Gio? Okay, that's causing him to produce all of these half-raised ass babies? Could it be, girl, that Nick been sucking dick? Could it be? We don't know, girl. We don't know. But that's what Miss Orlando allegedly is saying to teach you. We're gonna get into that as well, girl. Okay, let's move it along, girl. Okay, now let's get into this Will Smith teacher. Okay, and this here is courtesy of talentrecap.com, girl. Orlando Brown says that Will Smith allegedly RAPED'd him as a kid, and that Michael Jackson, who he also claimed to be his father, set it up, girl. Okay, get into this shit. Former actor Orlando Brown has been center of controversy in recent years. He often gets in trouble with the law or goes on violent rants. This time he is claiming that actor Will Smith RAPED'd him when he was a child, but that's not all. Take a look at the video full of accusations and expletives down below. Okay, girl, where's the video? There's no video, girl. Hold on, girl. How you gonna recommend a video, bruh? And there's no video. Oh, continue reading, bitch. Bitch, I ain't reading. Okay? Orlando Brown referred to both. Oh, bro, it might be gone since then, child. Hold on, let me see if this link works. Bro, this is so ghetto. How y'all gonna give us a link, honey? Okay? Most legit gossip sites, girl, have the shit already queued up for us. Nope. That motherfucking link doesn't work, okay? So let's get into the rest of the article, child. In the video, Brown continuously talked about how Will Smith RAPED'd him when he was a child. He also says that Smith RAPED'd his entire family, including his children. He said, quote, "You RAPED'd me as a kid, and you RAPED'd all of my kids." He also blames Michael Jackson for sexually abusing him and setting him up. Brown then refers to himself as Blanket, which is the name of Jackson's youngest son. It is extremely unclear what Brown is trying to accomplish with this video, or what drove him to make this video, which is now deleted. Perhaps the most confusing thing is that Brown then says he is Smith's son. Okay, so he's saying that he's both a product of Will Smith and Michael Jackson's sperm count, girl. Okay, it is unclear who Trent exactly is. Okay, Smith does have an older son named Trey. Trey is not seen in the media as often as Smith's other kids. Yes, we are just as befuddled as you are. People think Orlando Brown needs mental health services. Of course they damn do. Comments came flooding in that suggest Brown actually needs some kind of help. This is just sad, man. Needs to be in the hospital for a good long time, to be honest, said one commenter. Another commenter said, at this point, I really want someone to reach out to him with mental help and support. It's clearly needed. People on Twitter also felt the same way. One Twitter user wrote, Orlando about to be on everyone's timeline any second now, shaking my head. Again, bro needs help. Okay? So I just wanted to give y'all just a little origin story, girl, on what Miss Brown been out here doing in other people's names, baby. Okay? But the buck don't end there, goddammit, okay? Let's push on over to hiphopdx.com and get into Brown's recent controversy, okay? And if you guys are in the building, once again, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, bruh, okay? According to hiphopdx.com, Bow Wow finally responds to Orlando Brown's claims, saying that he has bomb-ass pussy. Bow Wow has responded to actor Orlando Brown after he randomly said he had bomb-ass pussy during a recent interview. Brown made the comments during a sit-down with comedian Funny Marco that was released on YouTube on Wednesday, July the 13th, when he was asked about the last time he watched BET's 106 in Park. Quote, the last time it was hot when Lil Bow Wow was on there, he said. And I ain't got a problem with Lil Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow got some bomb-ass pussy. And let's go ahead and hear those words for ourselves, courtesy of the goddamn Shade Room.
When's the last time you watched 106 in Park?
Last time it was hot.
What's the weather? What's the weather today, y'all?
When Little Bow Wow was on there.
You got a problem with Lil Bow Wow?
I ain't got a problem with Lil Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow got some bob.
Okay. Commenters went in saying, why did Orlando Brown say that Bow Wow had some good pussy? LMAO. I thought he was saved now by the white Jesus. Okay. Somebody else says, why would Orlando Brown be saying Bow Wow got some bomb ass pussy? He gone for real. Okay. Someone else posted, I think Orlando Brown was talking about this Bow Wow. Okay. And posted a picture of Lil Mama. Baby, these streets are too messy. Okay. The article continues on. Unsurprisingly, fans flooded Bow Wow's Twitter mentions asking for his reaction to Brown's comments. He initially said he was too busy to respond to such drama due to him working on television shows, his upcoming tour, and being a dad. Quote, since when legends got to speak on fuckery, he said in the tweet on Wednesday. Quote, I'm filming my new TV show as we speak and preparing for a sold-out show at the O2 Arena for the Millennium Tour in London. I'm a 35-year-old father. I don't play them type games. You do know this Bow you talking to, right? I am a boy, Damon. But in response to another fan who said Orlando Brown was bugged the fuck out and whiling, Bow Wow claimed the 34-year-old actor is on drugs and needs help. Quote, tweaked out, but you know, dude really need help. Nah, I'm saying, he said, quote, that's why we ain't tripping on him. Nobody taking him serious. It's sad because he had potential to be great. It's sad, them drugs. Bow Wow presented 106 in part between 2012 and 2014. Orlando Brown is best known for his roles in the likes of Major Payne, Family Matters, Two of a Kind, Wayne Head, The Proud Family, Fillmore, and That's So Damn Raven, girl. Okay, so here it is, child. And this ain't even half of it, girl, okay? This ain't even half of it all, okay? I'm just giving y'all just a little teeny tiny small plate of the level of bald-headed wholeness that Orlando Brown has been on out here in these streets for years, girl. Okay? But he also did a sit-down interview with Kiwi Studios' very own Unwind with Tasha K, girl. Okay? And let me go ahead and share my old nasty piece of screen, girl. Okay? Hold on. Okay, girl. He goes and sits down with Miss Kiwi, girl. And he gets into talking about the Illuminati. Now, I don't even know really how to even get into this damn commentary, y'all, because it's so many layers of damn fuckery to peel back, girl, that it's literally trying to get down to the bottom of Area 51, girl. Is it in New Mexico, girl? Arkansas, girl? Okay. Is it inside the Statue of Liberty, bitch? I don't know. But let me say this. Let me give a disclaimer before, girl, I attempt to break through the levels here, okay? All I can say is I need you to listen to me. Listen to my words, okay? Just follow me. Just follow me. In this interview, Orlando Brown went on to talk about how folk in Hollywood are cloning themselves and that some type of black market as immortalizing of Hollywood's elite is going on, girl, and that something equivalent to the goddamn sunken place, Jordan Peele's movie Get Out, girl, is going on, child, where you got folk wearing other folk organs, girl, and walking around with other people's blood and faces, and people living forever, and you know, the things is going on, okay? And he went into how anybody who attempts to whistleblow the secrets of this Freemason secret society, occultic group, are deemed as crazy, which he's doing a great job of falling right into their goddamn trap, okay? And then he went on to talk about Raven Symone, because Tasha K was asking him about their relationship and when was the last time that he spoke to her, and he basically was calling Raven Symone a fathead ass fake bitch, and he don't know why she pretty much just can't tell the damn truth, honey, and he don't know who this green eye full-blown lesbian is. He don't know this Raven Symone girl, this carpet munching, coochie eating Raven Symone is, girl. He don't know nothing about this mayonnaise lesbian that she all married to, girl, okay? That Raven is out here living her best fake ass life. But then he also said that he has spoke to Raven Symone practically today because Raven Symone was right in the goddamn room with them. And who he was alleging was right in the room with them actually was Tasha K's assistant. Is it Jasmine? And he's like, no, that's Raven. And she's like, no, that's Jasmine. I'm like, no, that's Raven. No. That's Jasmine. Like, no, that's Raven Symone, girl. God. Let me say this. It's clear, girl, that whatever is true, anything that Orlando Brown has ever said throughout the years that is true has been convoluted and blurred and remixed, okay, by whatever trauma that has been exacerbated, okay, by whatever drug usage and the impact of that addiction on his damn brain neurologically, intermixed in with a person who has a sense of humor and is naturally a troll at that, girl. So you have all this shit existing under one pot, girl. So appealing to or attempting to differentiate the truth from fantasy, from homoerotic desire, from just straight up trolling and lying is damn near impossible because he's too mentally unstable, unhealthy, and unfortunately has too long of an objective relationship to addiction to very transformative drugs. Okay, crystal meth, girl, will have you 18 looking like you 80 damn 5, girl. It will shrivel and shrink and ball your ass up like a piece of damn paper, honey. Have you walking around here crunchy as hell, baby. Okay, when they be producing all them goddamn zombie movies, baby. Okay, like once that zombie movie that Will Smith was in, girl, I Am Legend and shit, girl. Ain't no damn zombies, girl. That's everybody on crystal meth, girl. Okay? Them just the crystal meth heads, girl. That's it. Now, let me tell you what I do think is true. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me tell you what I do think is true. Let me tell you what I don't think is true. Hold on, let me the motherfucking side of pigs. It's the motherfucking side of pigs, bitch. Okay, maybe I'll blow myself down, girl. Okay. Let's start with Bow Wow and Nick Cannon. Okay. Do I believe that Orlando Brown, okay, done made Bow Weezy's ass clap, girl, and done let Nick Cannon give him head? I'm gonna be honest. I'm leaning toward belief. Something in my inner being, okay? Something deep down in the loins of my discernment, okay? Something down in my psychic faculties, okay? Despite how Orlando presents shit and how much of a goddamn clown he is, girl, and how troubled he is, girl, when I just sweep all that away, girl, I still cannot remove this sense of truth, girl. You know, truth has a texture. You know, it has a distinctive energetic property, girl, like sandpaper. It's like, you know, when you're touching it, it's just a knowingness. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not sure if the type of sextivities that took place between Mr. Orlando and allegedly Bow Weezy and Nick Cannot. But I wouldn't be surprised if there has been some type of contact on a sexual level between the guys. Because I'm gonna tell you what it's giving me. It's giving me Chris Oakes and Omarion and J Book and Ras B and Lil Fizzle Pop. Okay. The problem with black men and sexuality, especially in the West, is that we know that there's not too many black men who have had these encounters, who have the unmitigated gall and the audacity to be authentic enough to self-admit it. For instance, right? Y'all know as kids, some of us played High Go Get It and we played house. And some of us were doing that with our cousins because kids experiment on the bodies that they have access to. Okay? So you be managed and you be grown with other kids. Okay? And certainly when I was young and coming up, we was playing High Go Get It on the side of the damn apartment complex and shit. But there, I had a cousin, okay? And of course, I'm not going to name no goddamn names. I had a cousin growing up. I think I was about 9 and he had to be about, he was older than me. I think he's like 2 or 3 years older than me, Gworl. He was like 11. And there was something that he had for me. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, girl, it caused him to like sneak into my room and he would spend the night and like sleep in the bed with me, and he would like pull back the covers and get in the covers. When we would wrestle as kids, girl, he would put me in all these like sexually provocative positions and shit, girl. Like he would always end up between my legs and like hunching on me, and it was like all of that growing up. Okay, now a lot of that transpired, okay, between he and I growing up, and now he's become a big old thug. Okay, you know, he's a big old thug and he toxic, and you know, he shoot guns, and you know, he got baby mamas, and we still close today. You know, we still talk and everything, but guess what, baby? One thing we don't motherfucking talk about is that particular time in our life, honey. And I have been tempted throughout the years to have to bring it up to him and ask him, what has he done with that aspect of himself? What does he understand about that aspect of himself? Because it obviously is very clear that he has a capacity for bisexuality. But of course, black men's sense of self is too fragile to even ask them about things that may be true as it relates to their orientation. So we haven't ever discussed any of that. And it's not something that obviously he is ever going to go around and speak about and talk about. But nonetheless, those type of things take place. We also know that there's something called the down low community, okay? Is there a certain segment of black men's community that is getting down with the get down? Of course there are. Is that Lil Bow Wow and Nick Cannon? Maybe, maybe not. I think what's more tragic than these rumors themselves, and whether they're true or not, is the fact that we don't live in a culture where black men have the same comfortability to be able to be as honest and articulate and talkative and open about their orientation as women do. You know, oftentimes you get to hear women talk about their sexuality, talk about them experimenting with their sexuality, things they did in college, etc., and nobody really bats an eye. But that's not the same luxury and freedom that Black men are afforded. And I think that it really sucks. And so if you get a Orlando Brown who has had experiences with certain men who are more discreet or even practice a denial around their sexuality, and he chooses to be open and honest about that, of course he gets to look crazy, even if those things are indeed true. Because Bow Wow and Nick Cannon, they don't live in a society where there won't be some type of violence perpetuated against them if they were to say, yes, I suck dick. Yes, I bottomed for Orlando Brown, okay? They don't have the luxury of saying that without being crucified and demonized and trolled and ran the fuck up off the internet and frowned upon by their very own community, okay? They don't have the luxury of probably still getting respect from their fathers, from their uncles, from the men in their fucking life, etc. We saw the way that y'all did Malik Yoba when he came out as trans attracted girl. We've seen what has happened to men, Black men particularly, okay? When they have had the gall to be open and honest about their attractions and their affinities toward things beyond conventional male and female and, you know, heteronormative dynamics, okay? So that's interesting, okay? Now, the situation with Michael Jackson, girl, it's just clear. It's all crystal meth, baby. Okay, it's just crystal meth, sugar. Okay, Orlando, I'm trying to help you, girl. But the Michael Jackson piece is clearly crystal meth, girl. Now the Will Smith part, obviously is a product of crystal meth as well, girl. Now, he might have could have had me thinking about some things had he said that this happened between him and Will Smith, but when he said that also Will Smith, RAPED, all of Brown's children too, I was like, yeah, that's the crystal meth showing up again, girl. You know, it's almost like when you lucid dreaming, girl, and then you get dream debris, you know, things like that, things that are not authentic, girl, okay, to the actual experience, girl. You get like a bleed over. Yeah. Well, let me speak to the situation with my cousin. Y'all don't have to feel sorry for me. It wasn't traumatic. Like he didn't. It wasn't traumatic, girl. It was just a kid. My cousin never like forced me into things. He just did homoerotic things, but you know, he never kissed on me, he never groped me. I mean, he never like put his, you know, hands on my private or none of that. But you know, it I don't know how to explain it, but it was not traumatic. And you know, he was only 2 years older than me, so he was a kid as well, but it wasn't, you know, I wasn't being penetrated. I ain't have to suck nobody's dick or nothing like that. He was just, I don't know what to say. He was just dealing, he was just using what he had proximity to, but in using what he had proximity to, which was me, I wouldn't say that our experiences were extreme of any kind. You know, they were just homoerotic at times, but even then, they weren't completely explicit. I mean, I guess you can call the hunching explicit, but I don't know. You know, yeah, like Lid saying, like locker room antics. You know, it just wasn't something that it wasn't invasive enough for me to ever have felt violated. I felt it was. I knew as a kid it was like. It was something else, but yeah, that's girl. We get into that in another video, child. Okay, I only said that to talk about the way how the homophobia in the society causes black men to live in a certain level of secrecy that is not fucking fair. It's just not fucking fair. And I'm going to also say that I don't appreciate Orlando Brown. Had those things been true, I don't appreciate the way that he put those things out. You know, like, there is an appropriate way to speak about your sex life and the people that you've been able to be sexual with, but to just like reduce them to good pussy and to reduce them to just like a dick sucker, that's a very, first of all, if it is true, the fact that these niggas already got a fragile sense of masculinity, and then the fact that you want to talk about your experiences in the most disrespectful way at that, I mean, you're kind of asking to get your ass whooped. Now, speaking of getting your ass whooped, if these things ain't true at all, baby, either Hollywood just finds Orlando Brown to be, they clearly must just find him to be irrelevant and a troll by nature and a fucking clown. They don't even respect him enough to even whip his ass, or respect his ass enough to even sue his ass or send him a cease and desist. He's pretty much the more high-functioning version of Andrew Caldwell. That's kind of what it's giving me. So everybody is just kind of like being very passive toward Orlando Brown. And he should consider himself lucky, bitch, because, you know, he could get pop locked and goddamn dropped under, you know, if these were some different type of men. Okay, I wonder what these lies would look like if he said these things about 50 Cent, if he said these things about 2 Chainz, if he said these things about Lil Wayne, if he said these things about seem like Orlando Brown knows who the fuck to play with. He knows who the fuck to play with, because everybody who he accusing of doing something with or doing something to him are like goofies and like kind of non-aggressive black men. Michael fucking Jackson, for God's sakes. Bow fucking Wow, who also is not taken seriously, unfortunately. Nick fucking Cannon, for God's sake. Like, all these teeny bopper ass men. Okay? I want to see what these allegations look like when he, I want to see if he got the nerve to accuse some real toxic niggas of some shit. That's what I want to see. Now, Raven-Symoné, I personally do believe that he hit the cat. I think Raven-Symoné has went through a plethora of goddamn identity issues, girl, and identity crisis, honey. She don't think she black. She don't think she's American. But she think she lesbian, but not so really, girl. She is the Rachel Dolezal of the goddamn black community, girl. She's the Consciouztv of the black community, child. Okay? And I'm sure by them all being young and experimenting and trying to figure themselves out, girl, that Miss Raven probably threw that puss in a circle, honey. Okay, she probably, you know, Megan Thee Stallion, you know, Orlando Brown a few times. I can see it. I mean, why not? Why not? Okay? You're working in Hollywood. You got a tight schedule. You're going to fuck who you got proximity to. You're going to lose your virginity to who you got proximity to. So I could definitely see Miss Raven, girl. Miss Raven, Miss Symone gives me the type of chick who probably has given her pussy to a lot of embarrassing niggas. Like, Raven-Symoné gives me the type of black woman who like made all of the wrong choices with black men just because she was goofy as hell and naive and a little, you know, gullible and stupid and probably a little bit too eager to please, baby. So she probably gave her punani to a lot of goofies, and Orlando Brown was more than likely one of those damn goofies, okay? Because Miss Symone is a goofy her damn self, okay? That's probably what drove her ass to even being same gender loving. Is because, girl, she just looked back on all the goofies, baby, and couldn't live with her damn self and vowed that the only way to stop her from hooking up with future goofies, girl, was for her to just let the pendulum swing completely over to the left, okay? Into the same gender category, girl. That was the only way to put a stop to her goofy reign, okay? And to stop her from accumulating a goofy body count, girl. Okay, because she probably got there's probably a lot of Orlando Browns who done been in that puss. Mm-hmm. The queen of goofballs. Exactly. Now, get into the Illuminati, then I'm going to drop the link. I think Orlando Brown is in one hell of a predicament. I don't know what's interesting about Orlando Brown is that he easily could be the product of child ritualistic sex occultism, okay? He could be a victim of ritualistic sex. These are things that transpire in different types of circles. And I don't know if the things that Orlando Brown has been exposed to in the industry, maybe there has been some type of controlled, instituted sex trafficking that happens. We know about the infamous red casting couch. We know the Me Too movement was largely founded upon a lot of the exploitation that goes on in Hollywood, aka Hollyweird, okay? Has Orlando Brown been taken advantage of by powerful men, male producers, male writers, male actors? I'm sure that he fucking has. Could he largely have even became addicted to drugs as a result of dealing with the perversion that he was subjected to, the mind control he was subjected to, the extreme dynamics of also fame and being a child star that has this type of pressure on him? He's the breadwinner in his family. There's a lot of extremities that can exist in Orlando Brown's world. I don't know if y'all seen documentaries, baby, of them goddamn them pageant girls, baby, and the way that them parents be just exploiting they goddamn children. It's a lot. It's a lot of moving parts in this situation. Is the mental illnesses the result of the trauma and the abuse? Were the mental health issues already pre-existing and nobody knew about them? Okay, and he's just gone under the radar. He's gone unattended to, like most Black and brown people with mental health issues who don't get the help they need. Their community don't recognize any of those goddamn signs and symptoms as one necessarily relating to mental health. And even if they do, Jesus and the church is introduced as a remedy. Not necessarily counseling, not necessarily psychiatrists and psychologists and medicine. I don't motherfucking know. But I can tell you this. When you get into spaces with people who got a lot of these people in power, a lot of these people who have access to wealth, a lot of these industry people, and that's in all of these industries, the elite in all industries, usually you're going to find corruption. That's why you hear a lot of rumors around the Vatican, the Catholic Church, politicians, the music industry, the Hollywood industry. When you get to the elites in all these communities, typically there is perversion going on. And the reason why that is because one of the things that's not accessible at the top, and the top means when you have infinite resources, when you have money that can get you anywhere and get you anybody, when the world is in the palm of your hands, something that doesn't exist at the top is balance. Balance. There's nothing to recalibrate you at the top. Once your flesh has it all, there's nothing that can balance that out other than people sometimes yielding to an abuse of power. An abuse of power. Don't know what else to do with yourself. You become desensitized to the regular smuggler, okay? When you got 50 million 11 people at a concert throwing their panties on stage, chasing you down through hotels, flooding your DMs with sex, that becomes the regular and the smuggler. And then eventually you become desensitized. You gotta spice it up. You gotta spice it up. You gotta get a bit, you naturally become more interested in freakier exchanges because you've had all the regular smuggler shit times 10,000. Okay? When you are accustomed to living in a system where there's a lot of yes men, nobody tells you no. Some part of the ego becomes bored with that. So it becomes curious then to make your dynamics with other people interesting. Well, what will people say yes to? What can I get them to say yes to? Because once again, too much of anything creates imbalance, and imbalance typically leads to an abuse of self or an abuse of others. Too much sex needs to be a bit more freakier. Too much yes men, that's a given. That's to be expected. Person is going to be more intrigued by now what they can get you to say yes to. Because the ego has to, or the lower self then begins to find some way to entertain itself. It needs contrast. But contrasts don't naturally exist when you are a person whose cup overfloweth all the time. Now you have an abundance of something. There's nothing recalibrating that. So the lower self gets interesting. It gets creative. And it's sad and it's fucking pathetic and it's exploitative. And this is why you should always question people in power, whatever power they possess. Definitely question people with extreme power. Because usually there's something dark and sinister lurking because people are finding ways to cope with extreme power, with extreme resource, with abundance. This is why y'all scriptures say, what does it profit a man to gain the world and to lose his soul? Because most people will lose their soul as a result of profiting and inheriting the world. Because there's nothing to balance it typically but perversion, but corruption. Essentially what I'm saying is that honestly, abundance is supposed to be something that we possess circumstantially. I don't think that abundance is something that has a healthy impact on the human psyche when abundance is the natural state of one's life. And if you come into permanent abundance of any kind, what you have to do in order to stay healthy as a person is you have to deepen all of your spirituality. Why y'all think that a lot of pastors end up in a lot of fuck shit? They can be righteous at the bottom, but as they come up from local storefront pastor, where life was good, the struggle was real, the gospel was genuine, and then here comes an influx of money, here comes an influx of networks, here comes an influx of supporters and congregants, etc. Let me tell you why most people lose themselves as they come up. Because most people do not strengthen their prayer life in tandem with watching their life become more prosperous. They just take on more prosperity, but they maintain the same regular smuggler spiritual practices that got them through one stage of their life. But in order to have that spirituality serve you as you ascend in life, you have to deepen your need for the divine and interconnectedness as you accumulate more. That's the only fucking way you're going to survive. Getting to the top without selling your soul or without compromising other people. That's the only way. So a lot of us, as we begin to accumulate a lot, we become very fixated upon the a lot. We begin to slowly deviate from our sense of humanity. We begin to feed the flesh. And then at some point get so overwhelmed and swallowed up in our carnality that we begin to identify with nothing else but the damn flesh. And the problem with the flesh, the ego, the super ego self, is it never achieves satisfaction. And the only people who know that there's no satisfaction are the people who unfortunately had to find out by having it all. That's why a lot of these people you saw come up, you also saw them come smashing, tumbling down. These rich and wealthy people are cocaine addicts, crystal meth addicts, pedophiles, etc. The Diddys, the Cosbys, the Trumps, the Jeffreys, the Harveys, the Weinsteins, the Epsteins. Because what else you going to do up there? And what you going to do up there without God? And what I mean by God is be at full self-awareness. What you going to do at the top when you haven't self-actualized? Everything turns into a drug, and everything turns into a perverse way of compensating, overcompensating of an inner substance that's not there. And the more you come into in life, the greater that hole is. You need spirituality. You need to be divinely connected. In order to not enter into these spaces in your mind that become unlocked, because let's be clear, a lot of people were not born corrupted, but there are things that we can do as people that will corrupt our nature. There are ways that we can navigate in life and things that we can obtain that will introduce poison and corruption into our nature. Perfectly fine, righteous, loving, trustworthy people have fallen from the top, have fallen once they got to the top. People who were perfectly sweet and innocent at the bottom become a shell of themselves at the top. I'm gonna tell you what's even more tragic. What's even more tragic is that we're living in a very material society that's introducing this Luciferian doctrine into our society. Why y'all think all the music is about money, 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 sex, 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 fucking, 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 not having any empathy, chasing the bag, money over family, money over friends, money over love, fuck me, pay me, the baddest bitch, the baddest nigga. And what's sad is that y'all don't even know that these are literally the principles of Satanism. And there's a difference between Satanism and Luciferianism. Satanism is the worship of self. It's basically a religion that's predicated off of narcissism. Luciferianism is the direct worship of the one that the Abrahamic faiths refer to as Satan, as Lucifer, the fallen one, the literal worship of evil and twistedness. But Satanism has nothing to do with Satan. It has to do with the principles of the natural self, of the natural man. Those principles involve living a life of pleasure. Those principles involve basing your sense of morality not on objective right or wrong, but deciding what's right and wrong based upon whatever gratifies you is ultimately good for you. So you can indulge in drugs because it satisfies you. You can indulge in hypersexuality because it satisfies you. You can indulge in rebellion and disrespect and dishonor because it satisfies you. Satanism removes the consciousness that gives you a conscience about anything that you're doing that is in fact out of alignment. Its principles are very self-centered. Yeah, two different types of devils. Satanism is focused on the lower self, and then Luciferianism is focused on the metaphysical enemy, the spiritual demons and devils. But Satanism is almost like it's a cute doctrine around lawlessness, really. It sounds good on the surface, like, a life of pleasure, just entitle myself. If I want to steal from you because I like that purse, then so be it. I have a right to steal from you because I want it. Ironically, Satanism is the very opposite of Buddhism, which is Buddhism teaches you about detachment and about undoing your desire, because desire leads to suffering. Suffering comes from possession. Suffering comes from seeking outside of self. But that's exactly what the foundation of all of the principles of Satanism is. It's about seeking outward gratification. Think about it this way. Isn't it interesting that everything that Satan tempted Jesus in the wilderness with is everything that this new culture of music, vibration and frequency, and this system of capitalism is encouraging? Think about how everything that Satan offered Jesus dominion, reach, influence, wealth, power, worship. He introduced all of the principles of Satanism. Self, 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 self-serving. Live a life of self-service. If you look at all of the messaging in the media and in music, it's the same anti-gospel. Self. Fuck him. Fuck them. You come first. Why you think we're living in an era of profound sellouts? Because most people, even today, who are after self are not even aware that they are profoundly selfish. They're not even aware. That indoctrination is becoming, it's deepening and deepening and deepening and deepening and deepening itself. I fully believe that we are entering into the age of lawlessness. Lawlessness. That this is the beginning of the generations of lawlessness. And not total lawlessness. Of course, there's always good things happening in each generation. But we're definitely seeing the doctrine of lawlessness be introduced into society. I believe that there are aspects of the Hollywood experience, taking it back to Mr. Orlando Brown, that make this agenda more real. Look at some of the work of Michael Black, who did the Fahrenheit 9/11 documentary. He did the Where to Invade Next documentary. He's exposed a lot of America's system. He exposed a lot of the hidden hands and agendas behind the September 11th domestic terrorist attack. He also blew the whistle on what Orlando Brown has come to call, or what we've come to call, the Illuminati. He exposed politicians who were going to Bohemian Grove annually, which is this secret estate where all of the world's religious figures and politicians and high-level bankers, etc., would galvanize once or twice a year, where there were no cameras allowed, no recording devices allowed. And all of our world leaders from different parts of the world would spend their time at this big estate. And on the surface, they would claim that what they do there is play golf, and they do white people shit. Okay? Play golf, eat, enjoy, talk about the world, and, figure out how to solve the problems. Well, Mr. Michael snuck some fucking cameras in there. And how about it? What we saw was beyond playing fucking golf. What we saw is our world religious figures, our world politicians, our presidents, our vice presidents, in white robes, almost dressed up like the KKK, worshiping underneath a fucking owl. 9-foot, 10-foot tall owl statue, which you guys know has occultic symbolism, where they would imitate or even genuinely perform exorcisms, but not for the sake of exorcising a demon out, but for the sake of exorcising demonic and foreign spirits in to the person. They would emulate murdering virgin women, etc. I mean, when I think about that footage, I still get goosebumps and chills all throughout my body. There is a hidden world. But I know exactly why everyday people are afraid to acknowledge that, because its implications are terrifying. Michael Moore, that's it. There it is. Yeah. Look, Michael Moore might be ecstatic. He might be charismatic. He might be... Most whistleblowers are different. But his work speaks for its fucking self. Look at his work. Don't look at the person's, because that's what the powers will have you be. This is why we can never stick to the messaging, because they would have you rather focus on the messenger. See, they know that we are more inclined to look at who's presenting the information than the information itself. Just like in Orlando's case, he literally talked about in Tasha K's interview that, yeah, and he's right. Historically, whistleblowers have always ended up fucking dead, thrown in a crazy bin, or they've had an epic smear campaign driven across them. And because there's been no voice for their truth, and because the things that they've witnessed and they know have literally tested and tried their mental health, some whistleblowers, some people who are witnessing and in positions where they witness certain atrocities or they're witnessing things that test their sense of reality and normalcy. Sometimes they develop genuine mental health issues because they have no space to speak about the things they are experiencing, that they're witnessing. And they know that they're going to be told that they're crazy. And living in that secrecy and having no voice and no outlet, while also dealing with something that's having an extreme effect on the brain, whether that's sexual violation, rather that's being sex trafficked and being at the mercy of some bizarre occultic group. No matter what, there are genuine mental health issues that can develop, and guess what? The powers that be in the media will use those mental health issues and exacerbate them so that we can discredit the messenger. Because once you can discredit the messenger, once you can make the life of the messenger, of the living witness, fucked up, you can then discredit the rest of it. The rest of it becomes naturally discredited as a result of you targeting the messenger and the living witness themselves. Now, y'all asking about Jaguar Wright. I don't know. Jaguar Wright spoke about a lot of shit too. She seemed to have retained a good bulk of her mental health, even though Jaguar Wright clearly also has been through a lot. She's been through a lot of her personal life before she even got into the music industry. And then there's a lot of shit that she saw for herself, a lot of things that she was told by her peers, etc. Who knows? But the reality is that all these whistleblowers, they have a bigger feat on their hands. They have the burden of trying to convince an audience that absolutely wants to exist within their own personal bubbles of reality, because everyone is safe there. We get rid of people who tell us something we don't want to hear. We get rid of people and deny people and reject people who try to introduce thought or experiences or notions that are contrary and opposite of our sense of reality. The hardest work any of us will ever do in life is actually do the work and go down the rabbit hole. It's actually be Alice. To be Alice. To be Alice. Because we all want to feel, to have some objective understanding of reality. And for the most part, a positive one. Most people subconsciously don't want to know just how scary and violent and untrustworthy the world is. And I can't blame you. Because to actually be open to the truth, even though it can set you free, the thing that the truth always creates before your personal freedom is an ego death. And most people are afraid to know what the truth is because it would be the death of everything, or most of the things, or the things that they held dear to them. Those things would cease to be. But because we're so invested in our beliefs, if the things that we hold fundamentally true to ourselves are proven to be untrue, we also believe that logically, that means it will be the death of self. And especially Americans who have to work for a living and come home to family and children and wives and all type of shit. We're not even given the luxury of knowing that we even have the time to mourn the world, to even be that heartbroken. Because you got to get your ass up and go fix them Big Macs the next morning. So most Americans are intentionally holding on to whatever sense of reality that serves them to the best of their ability, because it's already the only thing that's getting them by, even if it is a total lie, even if it isn't totally predicated on the truth. It's at least sustaining one's ability to work every day to provide for themselves and to have some sense of sanity as they exist within this hamster cage. They've got the system set up perfectly for us to avoid the truth. Because we don't even have the time and the space to even unpack the truth emotionally and intellectually. Most Americans are not living a lifestyle where they can afford to be off work for a few months and afford to be tapped out of their responsibilities for a few weeks. So the need to simply avoid anything that can be catastrophic to the intellectual self is also a priority. That's why if you begin to talk to people about the Bible and its fallacies, Christianity, and its falsehoods, when you begin to point the facts out to people, people begin to have a damn adverse reaction. Even if you're talking nothing but facts. Because what people feel they need more than facts is they need the lie that serves them. The lie serves us. The denial serves us. How many people have already came and given us truth who were classified as crazy, who ended up dead, or who disappeared from the public? We'll never know. But there is a truth to what Orlando Brown is talking about as it relates to occultic magic and the occult and mysticism and its relationship to Hollywood and Hollyweird and the industry at large. And it's not just Hollywood's industry. The dark side of spirituality and occultism is attached to every industry. To the Vatican, to the religious industry, to the political industry. It's all attached. I remember years ago when I was, I do less mystical work now, but in my mid-20s when I was on fire with the tarot and palm reading and astral projecting, and I was literally like on my superhero shit, using my powers for the greater good. I can't tell you how many notable local pastors, ministers, prophets, and prophetess were up there preaching against occultism and so-called witchcraft and so-called magic, but was coming to see niggas like me, was coming to study up under niggas like me, was seeking people like me out for issues and anomalies they could not resolve in their own churches, and would seek alternatives, but would take to the pulpit and preach against occultic people. Remember that whole issue with, is it Brian Kahn and the psychic reader whose New Year's, I think this particular prophet, you guys might be able to remind me, this particular psychic, she used to do like annual readings for the New Year. She would make like a New Year's prediction. She'd tell you what was coming in the year, who would be dead, what celebrities, what would happen in the celebrity world, etc. And then he was exposed because he basically quoted almost word by word, verbatim, this woman's prophecy. And she had given her prophecy, I think a week or 2 or 3 out before he had even took to his pulpit and spoke word for word. He got exposed. He never owned up to it. He claimed that witches emulate and imitate him. He don't emulate and imitate witches, but he came after, not before. A lot of that's going on in the Christian body. They're teaching y'all Jesus, but they're serving other deities. They're teaching y'all Jesus, but they're serving other gods. They have other forms of worship, and they indulge in occultic magic and rituals. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's something wrong with the deception. The deception is what's wrong. Because there are spaces within the Christian spirituality that permit for a lot of fluidity. Because even I consider my own spirituality to be very intersectional. I consider myself to be a Christian mystic. My foundation is the principles of Christ, but it's expansive. But the principles are at its core. Whether it's paganism, whether it's Buddhism, no matter where I am in my spirituality. But it's the deception and the demonization and the falsehood for me. So all I'm saying is that there is another layer of reality. And people are not who the hell you think they are. Your presidents are not who the hell you think they are. Your politicians are not who the hell you think they are. Your prophets and your pastors and your preachers are not who the hell you think they are. And this is why you must know the truth for yourself, so that you may be set free. Orlando seems to be traumatized by either things that had happened that he couldn't cope with, and all of that is happening within the confinement of his natural personality and his goofballness and his trolling, etc. Orlando Brown gives me somebody who's going to die a bizarre death. He gives me somebody who's going to die under weird circumstances. I hope not. one or two things are going to get him in a fucked up position. It's either the truth he's telling or the lies he's telling. But either one of those are going to cost him in the end. Either the truth he's spitting or the lies he's telling. I'm going to drop the link and let you guys come up and chitter chatter. Give your thoughts on Orlando. I just dropped the link. Mods, if you guys can rotate the link. And thumbs up this video. Girl, what do y'all think about Miss Orlando and her shenanigans? Thank you, Miss. I got some Cash App. Let me shout out my Cash App first before I start letting you guys in. If you have thoughts and opinions, hit the link, please. Shout out to Pam for your cash donation, love. Let me see here. Hold on. You live in a corner, Lil D. My God. God bless you, Pam. Thank you so much, love, for your cash donation. Anya.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
How are you? Looking beautiful as always.
Thank you. I am good, chat. This Orlando Brown situation is like, it's so much going on. There's so many types of conversations you can have.
Honestly, you know what?
Antics.
Conscious, let me tell you. So, you know, sometimes, because I don't always come on the panel. Sometimes I'll come to the live and I listen. And I only come up on panels when I'm like triggered or I find confirmation. I was just having this conversation, not even about Orlando Brown, because his life is mirroring my late uncle. So much. He was an avid drug user and also an alcoholic, right? As a kid, I can remember going as far back to when I was in the first grade. I had like classmates that would come to school and would tell me and my siblings how they, rumors and things of my uncle and sexual acts with men, right? So we had kind of like heard things, throughout. And of course, like the older generation in my family, they were like so like homophobic. And it was so weird because it was only weird to me as a child because we had people that were like friends of the family that were same gender loving. And it seemed to be acceptable. But when it came to our own relatives, it was like, you can't be this way and all of these type of things, it just was a fight against it, right? And so when I was talking to my sister, I was sharing with her before, like maybe a month or two before my uncle passed away, because he was gravely ill, he started to live his truth, like just started confessing things. I mean, he just went on this whole like cleansing journey, I would say, of just purging the truth. He was just telling us all of these people that he had been having these sexual encounters with throughout the years. And I mean, these were people that were in, our community or from our city, like preachers and things that like had a little position of power. And like, it was so weird how some of my relatives, like the older ones, they were like against it. Oh, he's not telling the truth. He's lying. And everybody was throwing up the whole, he was on drugs. You can't believe nothing he's saying and all of that type of stuff. And for me and my generation, we were more accepting. We didn't come with judgment. We listened to the information he gave. And it was so detailed, right? And it's like, he confessed to me personally, like, because I wanted to know, like, so, are you, you gay? You could, what you couldn't be yourself. Because I tried to figure out why he was like so heavily influenced with the drug. And he was numbing himself because this was something that was like introduced to him. I believe it was always in him, but it was introduced to him in a way of like being free, allowing him to be free through the acts of getting high, like the drugs. Like, I don't know, like if it was just something to use to kind of control. I really don't know, but I know the way he verbalized it to me, that it was because, you know, he was getting high to numb himself. He couldn't get the acceptance, and that's the only way that he could find acceptance. So when I'm thinking about Orlando Brown, although he can be off the hook in his delivery, he can even say things that don't even make sense. There is some truth to what this young man is saying. It reminds me of the two male actors, child actors, the Corey Feldman and Corey Hyman. Corey Feldman was one of the whistleblowers. I mean, his life completely like spiraled out of control. He became broke, but they were like one of the whistleblowers to talk about how child molestation and things of that nature was going on in Hollywood. You know, and they were blowing whistles. And although they, you know what I'm saying, like hit one of them passed away, the other one is still alive. He's constantly whistleblowing, constantly trying to bring awareness to this. But his actions prior to that is what they're trying to use to overshadow his message. And it's reminding me a lot of Orlando Brown. Like, I definitely believe there's truth. I think that, you know, being kids, because Nick Cannon, Bow Wow, they were all from that kid generation of kid stars. And I do believe that they were put in situations by grown adults where they were maybe going to call them groupies or whatever. I don't know. But I just believe that they had access to all of these things. And I believe these young men were in orgies and all other type of things together. Yeah. And so I do believe there's some truth. Yeah. Maybe, you know, they were under the influence and maybe some things have been distorted, but I believe there is some truth.
It's giving me very much so B2K, Raspy, Crystal situation. Like, I'm sure all of these young black men who came into the industry very young, unfortunately worked under and had access to grown men in power who were corrupted in nature. And just like in the alleged Chris Stokes situation, made them do things, made them participate in things, and also that even beyond there being a perpetrator, that these young men who were in the industry, forced into tight scheduling, but also were human and still probably were working out the kinks in their sexuality, had curiosities, probably naturally experimented with each other based upon the guys they had proximity to. Because when you're on these sets and you're shooting these sitcoms, these are weeks and hours and hours and hours and days of working. There's hardly any real break. Mm-hmm. And think about you working in this system 24 hours and all you have is access to the people in the space, the directors, the writers, the other actors, actresses, the cameramen, etc. That this becomes your makeshift family. Because you spend more time with these people than you do your own biological family and with your damn self at this point. And so I couldn't imagine who all were in these spaces with these guys, what they've been through. And the sadness in my heart comes from the fact that Black men have a right to speak about the things that have happened to them. They have a right to also be honest and authentic about their orientation and their experiences and any abuse that's happened. And it's just really fucked up that there's such a stigma and there's such a homophobia that is so pervasive in the Black community that Black men don't even feel like they can talk about any type of sexual abuse without being labeled and frowned upon as gay themselves. And so I can't imagine how many Nick Cannons and Bow Wows have either experimented with their orientation or been or is bisexual or pansexual or trans attracted or have been sexually abused but can't bring themselves to articulate it because of the homophobic trolling that's going to go on. The same homophobic trolling that Raspy has experienced.
And
you know, now, and the only reason, and even some of the trolling for him is not as extreme as it could be because most people also believe that he's telling the truth. But that homophobia can be extreme, and Black men have just not been raised and we haven't socialized Black men to be comfortable in themselves enough to be able to say, hey, yeah, I've had same-sex experiences. Yes, I've sucked a dick. Yes, I've bottomed for a man. Yes, I've been penetrated. Hell, I've had these experiences and I enjoy these experiences. I'm dating a woman now, or what? Like, this shouldn't even be a thing that requires anybody to have to fucking moonwalk and spinning bird kick. Oh wait, and damn sure when it comes to sexual abuse, like, there should be nothing going on in our society that makes people feel ashamed
And
about their experiences.
it's so weird to me because, all right, that was my uncle's story, right? So years later, I have a cousin. He was drafted. He played football. So while he was in high school and all throughout college, he had all of these recruiters after him, right? He got drafted second round pick to a professional football team. For whatever reason, I mean, he gave me details, but I'm not going to disclose all of that. For whatever reason, he put himself in a situation where he lost his contract, right? So some years later, I'm watching him, like, his life spiral out of control, and I just decided to, like, one day just have a honest conversation, without making him feel judged. And my cousin began to, like, it is amazing how sometimes you can go to a person, if you go with the right energy, people will just divulge so much of their personal information. And he just started telling me, like, his experiences while he was in college, things that he wanted to experiment when he was in high school, was afraid to. So when he had the opportunity to get away from the family, he began to experiment with men on his, fellow men on his football team in college. And when he went into the professional realm of football, this carried on, but it was so, like, tight lip, he couldn't express himself. He couldn't even, like, live out loud. And he was, like, sort of forced to, he felt forced to get in these heterosexual relationships that weren't fulfilling for him because it's not what he wanted. And so one of the players on the team, he actually got involved with this young man, got married, started a family. They were, like, dealing with each other for some years. And he just basically blew the whistle. Like, we're having a whole relationship, and you won't acknowledge me. You marry someone else. Like, I know you're not living your truth, but I'm ready to live my truth. And it kind of blackballed him. A lot of people, that do know him don't know the full story behind it or whatever. But he shared with me, like, he wish he could be open and discuss these things with people. That's why when you were saying it, I was like, God, sometimes our platform, your platform, the panel, the conversation can go in so many different directions, like, as you were saying. And it just was like, as you were talking, it was just like all these things come into my mind, because my heart truly goes out to anyone that cannot live their truth. That, you know what I mean? I always feel like we should not be concerned with no one's opinion when it comes to our own lives, because we're the ones that's actually living it. But although it's, I said, I know it's not always easy for everyone to just be stand up in their truth and not, turn the noise out from everything around them. But I do think that it is really horrible for society to make people feel like they cannot live in their truth and be happy. It is really sad and selfish of society. Like, we can do, especially heterosexuals, we can do whatever we want to do out loud, but then we penalize anyone that is not marching to the beat of our drum. Like, it is really horrible to me that we want to dictate someone else's happiness. And God forbid, when it comes to our community, it's like, we go through so much as a race. Why don't we have that compassion? Like, why don't we ever look at someone else and have the same compassion? It doesn't matter what the struggle is. A struggle is still a struggle.
But that's why I always tell our community, the black and brown community, that homophobia don't just impact homosexuals and same gender loving women. That when that shit is perpetuated, you're also keeping victims who have been abused in a same-sex way silent as well. That you're also keeping the Raspies, other community, silent as well, who might not even identify per se as queer or same gender loving, but they've had a same gender loving experience, and they've had one that was abusive. So homophobia just don't impact gay men; it impacts the men's community in general, because a lot of men are suffering in silence as a result of that homophobia. A lot of men refuse to talk about their sexual abuse, talk about being molested by their fathers, talk about being raped by their uncles, talk about just all of the experiences that have happened to them, because they don't want that stigma on them.
It's heartbreaking. I have stories for days. I find myself becoming somewhat of an advocate because I've had same-sex relationships, and I don't believe in labels, so I don't label myself as heterosexual or homosexual, anything in between. I see love as love and attraction is attraction. You can't help it or whatever. But I find myself on a day-to-day basis, literally, it's somewhere throughout my day advocating for people's rights. I don't care what your sexual preference is. We all have a right to do what we want as long as we're not harming anybody else. And I just really don't get it's really hypocrisy to me. And I don't get it. Like, why is it okay? Like, it literally broke my heart when my sons, I think I shared this with you, that my son's aunt is transgender. And I didn't know. I had relatives that were, but I never at that point I really had conversations to ask questions. But I allowed this person to live in my home. So I wanted to be aware. I needed to be educated. I wanted my children to know, how to be respectful, what to call this person, what Maya call her, and all that. And I started having conversations and asking questions, and I was given pamphlets, and I was introduced to a whole world that I was like, okay, because I was raised up where, although it was accepted, it wasn't when it came to our relatives. That was just really confusing as hell to me. How can we sit here? And I mean, oh my God, conscious, I could go on for days. We had a person in our church that was diagnosed with the, AIDS. And now he comes to our home to use the bathroom, and they gave him a bucket to go on the side of the house. I was livid. Now I'm like 12, 13 years old. Why is this man on the side of the house and he can't use the bathroom? This is during the ignorant phase where people thought if you touch someone, you could contract. And I'm like, why? What is going on? And I'm a kid, and I could recognize that this is inhumane. Why is this man on the side of the house? Why he can't just use the bathroom? And so I went through the back door and opened it and was, whispering for him, because I mean, how embarrassing could that have been to be outside in the public on the side of a house using the bathroom, and it infuriated me. And I didn't know how to really communicate my anger with these type of things, because I could have been conditioned in a way where I could have been homophobic or whatever, but I didn't see people that way. I mean, I was still a kid, but I didn't see people that way based upon sexuality. I just thought we were all human and everybody should be treated with respect. And to me, that was the most disrespectful thing. And no one in my family, because I had a whole fit. I started going off and I was in a tyrant, like a rage, a tantrum, because it freaked me out and it angered me. And no one could give me a justifiable reason why that was acceptable, and how, to me, it came off as prejudice. I mean, I'm a kid, so all I knew was prejudice and, race. So I thought it was just prejudice. Like, what is this about? We can't say that we love each other. We want to be treated a certain way, but we don't give out the same energy and vibes when it comes to other people. You're going to get back what you put out there. But in reference to Orlando, I don't know if it's helped for him. And the reason why
I was going to ask you, before we wrap up, what do you think what should Orlando do at this point?
Orlando's been in and out of treatments. Orlando don't ran to the white Jesus and got all saved and everything, and the end result is still the same. Orlando needs validation. To me, that is what he's seeking. His career went down the toilet for whatever reason. I believe it definitely has something to do with what he's discussing now. But I just don't think that he's calling out the right individuals. I think there are definitely people that have violated this young man, and he's calling out the people that were involved, but not the actual person that did it to him, whomever it is. I think there is a level of
He's calling out
protection,
the actors, but not the authors.
like
of
you
the-
said, yes, because like you were saying, look at the people that he's calling out
Yeah.
or whatever. I think that he needs severe help, but I don't know if there's any help for him outside of him getting that validation. It's like he's attacking the
He has
ones who have a career.
severe trauma, and he
Yeah,
don't tell us
he
what mental health issues also exist.
have developed. I think they developed throughout the trauma,
and
but I
then
believe that
addiction on top of that. So
yeah, I believe he is only calling out the names of the people that he's angry with because they still have I think they've all experienced the same thing, and they went on and they never opened their mouths, and they still have a career, and he does not. His career has floundered, and so he's just attacking. You know what I mean? The ones that he's able to attack.
yeah, he's doing what a lot of people online do. If I can't be put on by them, then I'll be put on talking about them. So just like a lot of gossip columnists or a lot of the trolls who are in the form of content creators.
So why don't he do it? Why don't he pull a superhead and just write a tell-all book? What is the truth? I mean, he would be better off doing that.
Well, I would hope he would get some much needed help first before he go to further incriminating people who actually may be innocent in this situation. Because if Orlando, it's clear that he definitely obviously is lying about certain things, and then there's other things that can be believed to be true that he's saying. But the people that he's lying on, like, he needs to get help so that he can put his reality back in place. And because as I said in this live, I feel like Orlando is going to die under very strange circumstances, and it's either going to be the result of the truth he's telling or the lies he's telling. Because people would take you out for lying on them, and people would also take your ass out for telling the truth on them as well.
And we know we know how, as you say, Hollywood. We know that it's almost like Vegas. We know, like, it is heavily influenced with satanic rituals.
Yeah,
it is. And I mean, we can't deny it. But, it is what it is. You got to just better get to know the Jesus of God, Black Jesus in you. Get to know that God in you, and open that third eye, and stop. Believing just what your eyes show, because the eyes can deceive you as well. So you gotta definitely.
If he did write it to law, he probably need to keep that secret because his ass might be taken out before that's even completed.
Conscious, did you check out Carisha's new interview with Kevin Gates?
I did. I was going to talk about Kevin Gates because we got a few commentaries I'm gonna get through tonight. So I'm gonna wrap this up because I want to talk about the Kevin Gates interview, and then I got to bring Reckless on to talk about something as well. And yeah, so
I'm about to drop down, and I'm gonna see you in a few.
So if we got time tonight, we gonna do all that tonight. I know it's already 11 p.m., but I'm gonna do as much as I can tonight. So I'm gonna wrap up this commentary because we literally got to come right back in like 2 minutes to get into Reckless Logic. But what are your final thoughts on this? So, well, first of all, I like the way that Bow Wow handled it, especially if it's not true. I think he handled it in a very like chill way. Like, he didn't even go rah-rah and go apocalyptic. Some people may argue that maybe because there may be some goddamn truth to it. I don't motherfucking know. But
that's how you're supposed to, right? In total reality, if a lot of more celebrities would take that approach, like our homegirl Cardi, a lot of stuff that's, things that are being said about it would just it'd be brushed under the wind. Even if it's not, you just don't have to feed into anything. There's no legal ramification or anything that he didn't have to even say what he said, but I do
too, Anya. And I thought it was hypocritical of the public because when trans women so-called expose trans attracted men, trans women get dragged. But it's funny how when Orlando made these comments about Nick and definitely made these comments about Bow Wow recently, everybody is taking it as a form of entertainment and is kicking and cackling and and I'm just like, why? Where's the outrage for Orlando outing this man? Where is outrage?
No, I've seen it in the comments.
Everybody
but
laughing and said.
No, I've seen it in the comments.
Humbling and cackling. And I do see like a few little like, oh, he needs help. But for the most part, but overwhelmingly, everybody is having a pretty lighthearted reaction to Orlando claiming that he obviously has been sexually intimate with Bow Weezy, etc. And I'm just like, and I just couldn't help but think that if this was a trans woman, she would be getting dragged from one end of Compton to the other end of goddamn Compton.
I don't think people are taking Orlando serious because of his the other allegations he's put out there. And I think the difference when it comes to the trans community, speaking on their experiences, I think people feel enraged because they feel like they're outing people or whatever, but it is still hypocritical because at the end of the day, it's like we pick and choose. It depends on who the person is. That's being outrage. And it's so weird. Like, it's just so weird to me how, now I know we all like to see people, couples and things of that nature, but sometimes we just too invested. It always makes me feel like people don't have a life. Like, you don't have a life that you're so invested in who's sleeping with who. That has always perplexed me because when I was a kid, making this my final comment, when I was not a kid, a young adult, and I started to live my life out completely loud and not try to hide who I was seeing, it was so amazing to me how I received so much backlash for dating older men. That was my choice and my preference. And I just was always amazed at how much I was the topic of every damn family gathering. And I'm like, is it y'all vagina? Is y'all using my vagina or am I using it? Like, is that penis going up in y'all vagina or is it going up in mine? It was just always really confusing to me. Like, why are we so invested with somebody else do with their private parts? Am I the one swallowing the cum babies or y'all swallowing them? You understand what I'm saying? Like, why are we so invested in what somebody else's do with their body? Like, let people live. And if it's a mistake, which I don't believe nothing is a mistake, if you find it to be wrong, something that they're going to learn is not going to work, then allow people to have their experiences. Like, stop trying to police someone else's life when your life ain't even together. Half the people that are passing judgment worrying about somebody else's sex life, they dry, cooch dry, penis dry, ain't nothing coming out the squirt. Yeah. Like, mind your business and get your body together. Focus
people
on you.
Will always be mad at other people's. People will always be addicted to controlling other people's truth and narrative as long as people continue to exist in their ego self. Yeah. As long as they continue to exist in their ego self and they don't transcend and exist in their higher self, they will always be low vibrating in that fucking way. It's a shame and a damn scam. But I want to thank you for being here, Anya. Great talking points. I agree. Mr. Orlando needs to, I would love for him to get his mental health together, get his addiction together, and then figure out what part of his experiences are true, and then certainly do an epic tell-all, turn it into something that can be really empowering. Even if these things are true, I have an issue with the way that Orlando is putting out other people's truths. I had the same issue with Jaguar Wright when she was claiming that Erykah Badu was ran through and Jill Scott got ran through and Mary J. Blige was getting fucked out at the Bad Boys Records label. And it was just like, what that got to do with the price of tea in China? Like, that's their experience to have to articulate, like, okay, but okay. Orlando's putting himself in a very dangerous situation. Somebody who loved him need to gather his ass by the back of his neck, give him some ultimatums, apply some fucking pressure, and stand on some type of goddamn principle, because his ass is on a dangerous path by either lying explicitly on people or the way the truth alone can get you killed, but then certainly the way that Orlando is delivering that truth definitely is very risky and triggering, because black men just don't have that fucking luxury like black women do in this culture. And it makes me nervous for his livelihood. It makes me nervous. You know, I don't want to wake up tomorrow and hear that Orlando done been popped in the parking lot or some shit like that. Like, it's just giving me, it's too much. Lots of conversations to have. Maybe this would be a surviving Orlando chapter, because I still don't feel complete in my talking points, because it's just so much that can be said. There's so many implications here. And I may have to do a part 2, part 3, part 4. But let me get out of here. You guys tell me what the fuck y'all think in the chat. Me and Reckless about to come live immediately. You might not get your notifications because YouTube is very fickle with that. So make sure that you do have them set for all. And make sure that you check out the community wall, because I always post on the community wall where and what's going on. Yeah, so lots of layers to this. But be prepared for us to be back in about 2-3 minutes. And we'll see you there. And thumbs up this video. And shout out to all of my contributors, all of the donators, all the PayPalers, Pam, FB, and those of you who blessed me tonight. I love you guys and appreciate you all. If you're new here, subscribe. Shout out to the 300 plus people in here at 11 o'clock at night being nosy as hell. Reckless about to drop something pretty fucking heavy on y'all, so I'm gonna tell y'all to go ahead and brace yourself. Brace yourself, because it's been a lot going on for my friend in the background. And yeah, we want to be getting into that next. So shout out once again to T Pre, Pat, Miss Washington, FB, and Kelly. Thank you for your donations. I love you all.